Hi, and welcome to an overview of the Calibration CoPilot platform's workflow. The Calibration CoPilot platform is the industry's only end-to-end system specifically designed for the marketing, the management, the documentation, the communication, and the invoicing for mobile and or location-based calibration centers. So let's get started. So the first step in the process is a customer or an employee is going to want to request a service from your business. So this first step in the workflow allows the customer to request a calibration or other service via your company's web portal or its mobile app. As you can see, the customer can view your services and your pricing up front, so they know their costs up front. They simply select the service or services they need and select Next. The customer then can select a person, a location, a piece of equipment, or a bay they want to schedule the service with. Now, it's important you understand, as the business offering the service, you control how you set up your schedule. But this is what the customer sees in terms of the schedule you present to them. Once they've selected the time they want to bring the vehicle to you or have the service done, the last step for them is to inform you where the service will be performed. Once again, you as the service provider create this checklist, okay? Once they've selected Next, they've completed their process. So it's that simple for your customer to request a service from you. The next step in the process is your business receiving and accepting the service request. So once the customer requests the service or services, your business can use your web portal or mobile app to accept the request as well as communicate back to the customer via two-way chat. Now, it's important to understand, the minute that customer completes the request, it's immediately in your portal or immediately in your mobile app. The next step is you assign a tech. If you are the technician, you assign yourself. Now, once you assign the technician, our platform sends a push notification to your customer, making them aware that a technician has been assigned to their vehicle. By the way, again, you can also send them a chat message. The next step for the calibration or mobile service provider is to review the services that were requested by your customer. So as you can see, you have the ability to review what they selected. And by the way, if you need to add a service here, you can add a service here as well. Next, to me, comes the most critical point, and this is the pre-calibration documentation steps. Now, this checklist is 100% completely customizable by the business, by your business, but it ensures your company has the documentation your business needs for liability and invoicing purposes. Your personnel can use the web portal or the mobile app to take and add photos or documents. Now again, once this step is completed, your customer receives an update via push notifications. The next step is the post-calibration step. So you've documented everything you've done up to the calibration, you complete the calibration, now you want to document what you did as part of the documentation and post-calibration. So once again, this checklist is completely customizable by you and allows the import and upload of images or documents. Again, like previous steps, your customer is updated via push notification. The final step in the workflow for your business is the QA or final acceptance of the work. Once the final acceptance is completed by the technician, the customer is automatically informed. The final step in the process, though, is communicating to your customer the work is complete and then forwarding them the documentation and the invoice. So, upon completion of the work and your technician completing the final acceptance, the Calibration CoPilot platform will auto-send a detailed report and an invoice to your customer via email. Here's an example of a detailed report and invoice. You will notice on the detailed report that every completed step is time and date stamped. Really detailed documentation for calibrations. Once the service or services are completed, you and your customers now have access to all the data, all the documentation, and all the chats via the web portal or via the mobile app 24/7, 365. So this data will always be available for you. You'll have access to all the completed pre-calibration checklists, including all images and all documentation. You'll have access to the post-calibration checklists and documentation. And finally, you'll have access to the reported invoice for as long as your company wants to keep it on file. And oh, by the way, the system also documents all historical chats during that repair process for that particular calibration. So, I hope you can see why the Calibration CoPilot is the absolute best way for your business to perform, to manage, to document, and to invoice for your ADAS recalibrations and other related services. Want to learn more? Give us a call, 855-953-7483, or send us an email at sales@copilot.com.